Hello, hi, how are you? My name is Matthew. This is Matthew from LoveBudi. LoveBudi is a kind of an organization or a group or an idea. It's a project that I started because I noticed that there was little love in the world, little understanding of love in the world, little spreading of love to the world, very few resources for what love is. There's a lot of resources for people who want to take your money, people who think they have some fantastic ideas about how to be happy by getting rich, getting powerful, getting, you know, uh, romantic relationships. There are a million things that love is not. Maybe you have a little bit of love involved in them, but not really the direct target. So what we're doing with the Love Project here is we're talking about love. We're working towards a greater understanding of what love is, and we're working towards bringing more love into our own lives. When we bring love into our own lives, it's absolutely at the same time, for sure, we bring love into the world, because that's how it works. When you have love in your heart, when you're aware of the love in your heart, when you grow, you build that love, you live that love, you share that love automatically, and it brings love to everyone around you, everything around you. The more we understand love, the more we be love, and the more love in the world there is. So we do these weekly LoveCasts. There's a daily love tip, but Sunday's an exception. Saturday night right now in New York, 10 p.m. But where I am in the Philippines is 10 a.m. And we also share the same time zone as China. So it's 10 a.m. right now. This little LoveCast is going to be about maybe 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, because we've got a lot of things to consider regarding love today. And it might take a little bit longer to look at all of them. I wanted to share this today. Let's get started. I wanted to share this today. And the reason why is because love is so misunderstood. I looked at topics. I've got about 35 topics that are all kind of ready and waiting to share on the weekly LoveCast. But what jumped out at me was the need, the requirement, the necessity for people to understand how misunderstood love is, how people totally misunderstand what love is. They throw this word around, and I could have made up another word for what I'm talking about, but that wouldn't work, because really what I'm talking about is love, but this word, this idea, is so greatly misunderstood. It's something as simple, as universal, as everywhere as water is. But if somebody doesn't know what water is, it's going to affect their life, right? They're not going to be able to use something as wonderful and useful as water in their lives if they use the word water, but maybe they're talking about gasoline, or maybe they're talking about some other liquid, like some soda pop. People talk about, oh, you got to drink 8 glasses or whatever. That's water. That doesn't include soda pop. So when you use the word liquids, it can be just misleading, right? So we use the word love. It could be misleading if people don't know the real definition of what love is. And that's what we're going to clarify today as much as we possibly can. Talk about love before in general. Talk about how great, powerful, wonderful love is. Going to define it a little bit more now. Now, one of the key ways that you can understand what love is, get a better idea, is to get the free book, the ebook. You don't even have to share your email or anything like that. You don't have to spend a penny. You don't have to. It doesn't cost you anything. It didn't cost you anything for me to write the book about love. So I'm offering this book about love to people. I send it to people on their birthday. I send a link for it. All my friends, I have about 5,000 friends on Facebook. And every day I have between 5 and 13 or so friends that are having birthdays. I send them a link to the book. Most people will say send a thank you. Thanks so much. Because I'm sharing love, and it's free. Love is free. I want to share the idea about what love is. So love has 71 qualities right now. Actually, I need to update the book. I think the book only has 68. So I have to do another copy of the book, which you can see all of the love qualities on the website, LoveBudi.com, and it defines 71 aspects, 71 ways that you can experience love, that you can define love. Not directly, because love itself is indefinable. It can't be defined. Should I say undefinable? Because love is all there is. Love is at the foundation of existence. Love is what we're gravitating towards. Love is what gravity is. Love pulls us toward it. So what we're doing here as human beings is we're working towards understanding and being love. We're taking chaos, we're taking conflict, we're taking confusion, and we're bringing it into orderliness, kindness, patience, understanding, love. So these are some of the qualities of love: nurturing, empowering, embracing. And all of these things are readily available to us. We'll get to that, okay? One of the things, so I want to work down the list right now. In the notes, you'll see, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 items that talk about some aspects of love that are misunderstood. And one of them is weakness. People think love is weak. Absolutely, totally the opposite. Love is the absolute most strongest thing there is. We talk about water, and sometimes people would think that water is weak, but if you've ever seen some of these high pressure machines, they can shoot water through an inch of steel. Water carves mountains, right? And not only does water have that kind of strength where it can be destructive, carve a mountain, put a hole in something, but love gives life, right? I mean, water gives life. Water gives life like love does. And water can make a tree grow. Water can save us when we're thirsty, when we're dehydrated. And lack of water, people died. Lack of love, of course, we wouldn't exist. Even more than being dead, we would not even exist at all if love didn't exist. So love is so strong, not in the way of destruction, but love is strength. Because speaking from personal experience myself, I have love in my heart. I know I have love to fall back on. Not some fabricated God that men made up. Not some powerful entity that is completely arbitrary and fabricated, and we can find its roots going back thousands of years, back to ancient, primitive concepts. No, we're talking about what real love is. And when you have love, when you're aware of the love, we all have love in our hearts. Love is everywhere. And our heart is kind of, you could say, our connection to love. It's the strongest connection. It's kind of like the plug into love through your heart. And when we're in touch with that love, when we're aware of that love, when we've tapped into that love, we have infinite strength. We don't have to worry about anything else. And that gives us a foundation of strength for life. No matter what we run across, no matter what challenges that come, whether they're scary things of things attacking us, dangers, whether it's health problems, whether it's feelings of loneliness or abandonment from others, whether it's feelings of self-doubt, whether it's people just being rude to us, or us not finding the love outside of ourselves that we want, the affection, the attention, the compassion. We always can find that inside in infinite amounts, and that gives us the foundation that is incredibly strong. That's more strong than anything else that exists. Second one is love is powerful. So love, because we have this inner strength, we have this power, and we can use this power to pursue the goals of our life, the things that really turn us on. Now, these can be humanitarian things where we want to feed the poor, or it could be something creative that we want to do. I always want to learn to paint or play the guitar, or wanted to build a business. You wanted to create the perfect car tire, could be anything that turns you on, that excites you, because when you say turns you on, that's love right there. So something turns you on and excites you. I want to do that. I see this problem. People have tires that are not safe, that wear out, that are too expensive, whatever you might see. I want to make the perfect tire for the car. And if that excites you, that idea, when you see that need, you want to fulfill that need. Okay, that's love. That's love. And you can have love as a foundation in your life to give you the power to pursue that goal. And when you pursue that goal, these kinds of goals that come from love, you're making the world a better place. You're helping people out. You're filling needs, and you're solving problems, and you're creating a brighter future for our children. And don't we need that? So we're talking about love today because of that. Because we really want a brighter future for our children. We want the world to be a better place. Love brings integrity. Why? There is so much. I mean, in business, I used to work in the automotive industry when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. I was a assistant manager at a radiator shop that also was a parts, sold auto parts. And the boss expanded. His name was Jack. Very, very cool guy. He was the boss, and he was the owner, and he gave me a lot of breaks. He was really a helpful guy to me, and I needed so much more from him than he was willing or able to give, because I was really hungry for some guidance and some nurturing. But he did a great job. He made me the general sales manager, so we had 3 people in sales, and I was the sales manager for this auto parts company. And I got exposed to, was it 2,000 or was it 4,000 auto shops in Los Angeles, where I worked in Los Angeles. Working in a place called Culver City was where our office was, working out of there. And he bought a list. He paid money for a list of all the automotive shops. And this included parts shops that were selling parts, included mechanics that did repairs, included specialty refrigeration, like for air conditioning in the car and radiators in the car, included a list of everybody who did auto body work, auto body repair. And I think that maybe that covers everything. So basically, here's what I'm getting at: integrity. 99% of all of the shops that I dealt with were cheating their customers. They would make up things. They would create things. Even the shop where I worked, the guy who managed the place, his name was Steve. He made up things sometimes. I remember once we were replacing a part in a car, and it's a computer, and the computers are new. This is like 1979, 1980. And it was a new computer, and installing the computer, we bought a new one, installed it, it shorted out, it blew. And then we had to buy another one. We charged the customer for that. We had a little meeting about it because I was one of the company leaders. In my opinion, not that I'm a great guy or anything like that, definitely not, but I just had a sense that that was wrong. To charge the customer for something that was our fault, a mistake that we made. But at the time it was expensive, let's say $200, $300, $120. And even our own shop was lacking in integrity because we didn't have love as a foundation. So come bring this back to love, this idea about body shops that I dealt with. Pretty much 100% of all the body shops were incredibly crooked, lied to their customers, cheated their customers. And in Los Angeles, I don't know about now, probably the same deal now. At the time, all auto body shops, places, they had a reputation for being just absolute cheats, making up things. So people didn't trust them. People would come back to us and they would say, hey, this is wrong now. Now my radio doesn't work. And we had nothing to do with the radio. We did work on the radiator, not the radio. So there was so little trust, and there were fights that would come up. People would argue, and people would feel, there's just a lot of bad feelings around it. When you have love as the center, when you have love as your focus, when you have love as your foundation in life, it automatically guides you towards Being honest. Love is honest. That's one of the 71 qualities. Love is forthcoming. So if there's something to share, love's going to share that. Love is does not hold back. Love doesn't withhold. And so when we deal with people in life, when we really believe in love, when we trust in a love, we're going to be like that. We're not going to withhold. We're not going to manipulate. We're not going to lie by telling a half-truth or telling a partial truth or holding back or talking behind somebody's back when really we should be sharing something to their face. So love brings integrity automatically. When we believe in love, we believe in integrity. We're automatically going to have more integrity in the world. And so love is not about being mushy and just being sweet. Love has integrity. So love doesn't lie and act sweet when it doesn't feel sweet. Love does its best to be kind, respectful, but love is also honest. Love doesn't sugarcoat and deceive. Accountability. So in this case, love brings accountability. Hey, I saw you take that. I saw you steal that. I was sitting on a bus once in San Francisco. Sitting on a bus and a guy was trying to pick a pocket of an old man, some kid, some punk kid, because the old man's wallet was falling out of the back of his pants. And we had probably 8 people that were in that line of vision that were able to see that and were aware of what was happening. And I didn't know what to do. Like I say, I'm no expert in love. I'm trying to learn about love, trying to learn about having integrity and being honest and standing up for what's right. All I knew how to do finally was just tell that kid, look him in the eye and say, look, something to the effect that you're not going to get away with that with me here. And, because I saw the kid going for the wallet and then nobody said or did anything. And I had to think about how should I handle this situation? So anyway, I told that to the kid. He got off at the next stop. We're holding other people accountable. We stand up for what is right. We don't deceive and lie and trick ourselves. We don't do that. And when we see that around us, we expose that. We speak out against that. We stand up for the truth. Well, that's not the way I saw it. I saw this. This is my feeling. We stand up for truth and we hold people accountable. We don't punish. We don't torture. We don't imprison. But we do hold people accountable. I'm aware of what you did. Consciousness. Love brings consciousness. Love will make us conscious because love is conscious. Love is active. Love takes action. Love studies. Love is aware. So because of this, because love is conscious, love brings consciousness. Is there something weak or mushy or impractical about that? There's nothing more practical than love. When you understand what love is, I'm telling you, don't learn love from an ancient book written by people who are trying to manipulate you. Don't learn love from romance movies or romance novels. Learn about love from what's in your heart. Learn about love from when you feel compassion, when you feel kindness, when you want to nurture. We have all these words and all these qualities of love because they're examples of what love is when love is expressed. So love brings unity. We've got so much division, man. Right now, people are complaining in the U.S. about the president, or people are defending the president. It seems like it's either one end of the scale or the other end of the scale. Really, really extreme opinions about politics. And what are people doing? They're saying, because you love Trump and I hate Trump, you're an idiot, or vice versa. Politics is a great way to divide people, but you still have the same group of people that are in power. Why was it when people talked about impeachment for George W. Bush, and then when Obama got elected, he said, no, it's not an issue? Why? Because they're in the same club. These guys are all on the same time, on the same side. You rarely see them attack each other. Now, people lower on this, on the ladder, they'll try to impeach, they'll try to do this or that, they try to expose, because they're working for their own tribe, and that's where the division comes in. But what you have is people lower on the scale that are fighting over who's going to be on top, and whoever's on top is always part of a special club anyway. So when you divide over whether it's politics, you divide over religion, you think your God's better than their God, or your dog's better than their dog, or you think that your idea is better than somebody else's idea. It's going to divide us. Love doesn't do that. Love appreciates anything all of us have to contribute, because we're all needed and we're all one. So love brings unity. Those things that we divide ourselves over, those things that we judge, we put other people down, we criticize. Love brings us together. Love sees the common denominator of all of us, and that is this foundation of love, this desire to be happy. We all feel that. It doesn't matter what country you're from. People even get involved in what we call the military. They'll go over and they'll kill somebody because their leader told them to, and the leader from the other place is saying, oh no, we're going to fight you or whatever, or please don't bomb us or whatever. But your common average person gets caught up in that, and they get murdered, they get blown to bits while they're having a wedding, on their wedding day, or while they're sitting in their home, or while they're running down the street. Talk about dividing people. This is a real weakness. Murder, attacking, being part of a group of murderers. It's weak, and it's weaker to lie about it, not even realize that that's what you are, not even admit that, because it's a paycheck, or because you've got so much hate in your heart you want to kill other people, or because your mind is so weak and ignorant that you actually believe that these other people are bad, so you want to kill them. Yeah, we're all ignorant sometimes. Don't be ignorant about that. That's dangerous. It murders people and it gets yourself killed. Don't have a weak mind. When you have love, you have integrity. You have a strong mind. You have strength that comes from love. But there's so little love in the world. There's so many weak minds. There's so many people with so little integrity. They're liars themselves, and they support other liars. Love brings peace. Because when you live with love, you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to fight. You want to get along. You want to find your commonality. You want to work together. Love automatically brings peace when we understand and practice love. Automatically brings peace to the world. You want to know how much love is in the world? Look at how many wars are going on. Subtract that from the amount of love we could have. Love brings prosperity, because when we have love, we're cooperating to help each other, all to be rich. There is plenty of everything on this planet for every single one of us, and a whole lot more. There is plenty of everything. Absolutely. But what do we have now? Because we have the lack of integrity, because we have people not standing up, holding others accountable, tyrants ruin the world. Tyrants are ruling the world, and they're ruining it for the rest of us. And those of us that are worshiping a non-existent entity, or those of us that are worshiping some political leader or some other kind of leader, instead of getting up onto your own 2 feet, working to make the world a better place in your own way, when you understand love, you know how to do that. You can do that. You have the wherewithal to do that. There's nothing lacking at all. Every single one of us has the power, has the ability, when we understand love, to be able to contribute to making this world a much better, wonderful place where there is plenty of everything for everybody. And I'm not talking about picking fruit off of trees and living off of the land in some primitive form. I'm talking about enough airplanes, enough cars, enough computers, enough anything advanced technology. Love is not about being primitive and rubbing sticks together for a fire. Love is about having the most advanced everything that there is. and developing more advanced things that we hadn't even dreamed of. And that being available to everyone. Love can do that because there is no shortage. And if you've bought into this idea that there is a shortage of this or that, what if everybody wants a Mercedes? Not everybody wants a Mercedes. Not everybody needs a Mercedes. Get off of that. That's not true. That's a lie you've been told and a lie that you believe. And I hope you're not sharing that same lie with others, because this is a lie that's told by the tyrants, that there's a shortage. There's not a shortage of anything. There are people that steal. There are people that hoard. There are people that don't share. And there are these people that are not being held accountable. There are these people that get to do anything they want to do because your average person knows nothing about the integrity of love and they don't hold anybody accountable. Love brings prosperity because love brings integrity, love brings industry, love brings actualization of individuals so that our productivity goes 100 times what it is right now. Easily 100 times, 1,000 times. Our productivity goes way up. We have much, 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 much more of everything because people are producing. They're not sitting and watching TV and waiting for the welfare check to arrive. They actually find a way that they can be productive, contributing human beings. Looking to punch out that time clock. Looking to collect that vacation pay. Looking to do the absolute minimum that they can do, contributing to other human beings. This is what it's come to. And there's no prosperity in that. There's no prosperity in trying to find a way that you're going to get rich and build yourself a mansion and have 6 Rolls Royces because you're so damn clever. Nothing clever about that. That's stupidity. Because how many people could you have helped with that money, with those resources, with that time, with that talent? But the talent to make money, to do banking, to manipulate money is a very, very different talent than loving others, nurturing others, helping others. You know, I've never seen one of these internet billionaires on TV or on the internet talk about what they're doing in the community. I haven't seen it. Maybe it exists. Maybe they talk about mailing off a check. But are these the kind of guys that are volunteering in their neighborhood, teaching kids how to play basketball or teaching kids handicrafts or teaching kids how to grow up to be responsible community members? There's so much focus on money. Money has become such a big distraction. And love is kind of the opposite. We don't need money when we have love, because money is the tool of tyranny. That's all it really is in the end. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to become a millionaire. I know a guy who said, I'm going to wait till I get enough money, then I'll be able to contribute to others. Shaking my head. You do that now. Everyone, all of us can do that every day in our own little way. And it doesn't stop us from having what we want. In fact, it's the source of the best, most satisfying life that we could possibly have. Love brings clarity about good and evil. You don't know what to do in a certain situation. You always can fall back on love. How does my heart feel about that? Am I being honest? Am I being kind? Am I being respectful? Is this person being honest, kind, respectful, nurturing, empowering? Because if you're deceiving somebody and you're disempowering them, or you see that happening, you know that's not love. We could say that love is good and that lack of love is evil, but we don't always want to say right and wrong, good and bad. We don't want to get on that trip all the time. We don't want to get on a judgment trip, but we do want to be able to know what's right for me. What do I want to do? What action do I want to take in this situation? I'm not going to get into punishing others, exposing others for the sake of a witch hunt to put people down and criticize others. That's not what it's about. But what it is about is knowing what love is and what love is not. And sometimes, yep, we're not loving. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes we're not loving. But we try to be loving. We do our best. And part of that is knowing the difference between what love is and what love is not. Is that weak? Is that about sex or romance or mushiness? Is any of these things I've been talking about? No, but most people think, oh, love is weak. I had a guy, I mentioned this already in another LoveCast, this guy was just saying, you know, love is weak. I said, it's absolutely not. I've never felt stronger. I've never felt more confident. I've never felt more powerful. I've never felt more able. And I've never felt more open-minded and willing to learn and open to new ideas in my life. And you can have both. You can be both. And that's what love is. That's what real love is. So love, the source of love is in your heart. And when we look at the 71 qualities of love, we can feel, when I meditate every day. And when we meditate, we get in touch with ourselves. I remember hearing one of the cults I was in was Scientology. Another one was evangelical Christianity. These guys that I talk to, I don't know if it represents, well, I know it's the official policy of Scientology. I'm not sure about evangelical Christianity, but both of them told me, meditation that messes with you. It messes with them, because what it does is it gets you in touch with your heart. When you let go of your stress, when you find the center of love and calmness, and you just let go and feel the love, it gives us a sense so that we know, oh yeah, compassion is love. That's where all these qualities came from. They didn't come from some old book. They didn't come from some tyrant who's trying to control people. They didn't come from some get-rich scheme. All of these qualities come from your heart. You're automatically going to want to nurture. You're automatically going to want to embrace others. You're automatically going to want to be respectful, kind, considerate, understanding, communicating. All of these qualities automatically come from your heart. Just look in your heart. Don't listen to me. I'm no authority on anything. I'm just a guy who's trying to share what I think is a good thing. That's all that's going on here. I'm no expert. I'm no authority. You are. Each of us are. We all have love in our hearts, and we're all 100% equal across the board. And we all deserve happiness and joy and love and meaning in our lives. And that's what I'm here to share. That's my opinion. I'm sharing my opinion. And if it makes sense to you, if it works for you, okay, great. But don't listen to me. Listen to your heart. Get to know your heart. And if you want somebody else's opinions about how to do that, hey, I'm happy to share what I've found, what I've experienced, what I've learned from my journey. Finally, love focuses on being humane, and it abandons the primitive. When we look at our heart, when we don't look at our brain stem, some people call that the reptilian brain, or the brain stem, where some of our basic survival impulses come from. This is the fight or flight instinct, that when someone's threatened, they attack. Now that's primitive. If you believe in evolution, if you believe we came from reptiles, or you believe we came from some other form of life, and we became sentient once our brains got the capacity to be self-aware like we are now, then you realize that there's two parts of us. Well, there are a million parts in between, but there are two ends of the spectrum. There's being humane, which is in harmony with love. And there's being inhumane or primitive, and that is being brutal, doing something like punch somebody in the face because they looked at our girlfriend the wrong way, or go blow up another country, become an expert at killing. What is that Israeli fighting art? It's the most brutal. I mean, the most brutal things come out of that country. Tog McGraw or something like that. I mean, it's just amazing when we focus on these primitive, hateful destructive. This all comes from the primitive brain. And you can feed that primitive brain. You can feed that. You get around people who are all hateful. People that talk about things that they hate all the time. You hang around people that talk about things they love all the time, things we appreciate. I've got the gratitude page on Facebook, and that's one of the things I do. Every day, I share something I'm grateful for. And sometimes I'm not in the mood. I got to dig. I got to think. I got to get myself in the right frame of mind. Wow, I'm out of the love zone. What am I grateful for? What's one of the wonderful things about my life? When we surround ourselves with people, books, movies, activity on our own, awareness of our heart, when we're living more in the love zone, when we're surrounding ourselves with love. I got to make a note about that because that's one of from a course coming up on the love zone. Surround yourself with love. It's not only practices that you do yourself. It's things around you that you choose to have in your life. And when we understand love, when we communicate with our heart, when we build our communication skills by listening to our heart and being calm and finding that infinite love that, if you believe it, people find when they have this near-death experience and they're going through the tunnel and, whatever that is, okay, whether that's the brain shutting down or firing like crazy because the person's dying, or whether it's an actual experience, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me because I'll tell you one thing, the feeling of infinite love is just as real as anything else there is. And in fact, it's more real because the feeling of infinite love, this humanity, this humaneness, is what drives us towards the most beautiful things there are. Beautiful poetry, paintings, music, beautiful buildings, beautiful aquariums, beautiful terrariums, beautiful planetariums, beautiful places that we can live and be, beautiful things we can do. All of this comes from love and focusing on love. Not the primitive brain, not the opposite end of the spectrum, not the fight or flight, not something a scared, cornered animal would do. We're animals too, by the way. Biting, I used to raise hamsters. Certain hamsters, I had a hamster that was pregnant. She had babies or whatever. I put my hand in the cage, and man, did she ever bite me. And I got bit a lot of times by hamsters by mishandling them and misunderstanding and mistreating them, picking them up when they don't want to be picked up or when they're really scared and feeling uncomfortable. They fight back because they just have this real simple reaction. They're not able to be humane. They're not able to say, oh, I'm scared right now. And if you do try to pick, you can imagine a hamster saying it. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is that we have the capacity as human beings. And when we're aware of love, when we understand love, when we focus on love, love is our foundation, love is our center in life, we're automatically going to abandon the primitive concepts. These primitive concepts of good and evil, how we're going to, we have God's army that's going to come in and murder all the bad guys. I mean, what a pile of garbage to teach someone about an example of love. But look around you, look what's happening right now. Somebody wants to build a wall so that people that are starving and oppressed and scared for their lives and willing to walk hundreds of miles to get to a safer place, don't let them in. Don't create any system that's going to nurture them and help them out. Just put up a wall. Wow. And you voted for that? And you support that? That government that does that, that makes those laws? That government that spends more than every other country in the world combined by far on killing weapons, on sophisticated ways to murder human beings. That's what you put your money towards? That's what you give your tax dollars to? That's who you vote in office? That's what you participate in? Or are you going to participate in things that are loving? When you understand love, when you live love, when you have a foundation of love, the tyranny starves to death. When you don't participate in that hate, when you don't participate in that primitive cult that says our God's better than their God. They got to believe in our God. We know something they don't know. You know a lot of dogma they don't know. You know a lot of judgment that they don't know. You know a lot of self-righteousness that they don't know, but you don't know love, because that's not love. So when we focus on love, when we focus on understanding, I'm being pretty critical, aren't I? I'm just trying to draw a contrast there. But whatever you believe in, I've got friends, anybody's my friend. Anybody I appreciate, anybody I love. I'm not trying to say because you belong to a cult or because you're a Republican or whatever that you're not my friend. No, but I am saying that these things divide us. And I am saying they mislead us and they take us away from love. And when you get in communication with your heart, these qualities of love, and ones that I hadn't thought of, are going to come to mind. They're going to be completely valid and they're going to completely work in your life when you're in touch with your heart, when you're in touch with love. So is love misunderstood? You betcha. Love is so misunderstood in this world. People think it's weak. People think it's confused. People think it will allow. Some guy comes in your house and he's beating up your kid and you're going to stand there and hand the guy a flower. Bull pucky. You're not, man. You're going to protect that kid. You're going to disable that guy so that he can't do any more damage. That's love. Love stands up. Love acts. Love protects. And love disempowers the tyrants, the bullies, the violent sociopaths that are running this world. You think violence is the answer? You think more of that weak, primitive, reptilian behavior is somehow powerful? You think getting a better gun is somehow more powerful? Learning how to kill and shoot? No. Learning how to love disempowers these sociopaths. It takes the weapons out of their hands and it doesn't let them hurt anybody ever again. That's what love does. Love is not weak. Love doesn't stand by. Read about it. Learn about love. Plenty of resources at LoveBudi.com. Plenty of videos that you can watch where I share every aspect of love. And every week, Monday through Saturday, there's just a 10-minute or so love tip about how you can have more love in your life. There are courses coming up. There's a course that's available later on today I'm releasing. It's called Love 101. It's learning about the basics of love, understanding what love is all about. It's a prerequisite for life. It's your prerequisite. It's all of our prerequisite for life, understanding love. That's what I'm offering. I'm offering that. My opinion only. So go to LoveBudi.com and look for the course there. I'll add a little link so it's easy to find. And you can sign up for that course when it becomes available in August next month. It's going to be available. Sign up early and you save money on it. And you also reserve a spot because I'm only ever going to let 38 people at any one time take this particular course, because this course is exactly about love being misunderstood and helping to clear up all these misunderstandings we have about love. So there's unlimited support for individuals that are taking the course. And I've got 38 people at any one time. That's enough. That'll keep me busy enough supporting these people, giving them all the support they need so that they can get the course and get a whole new approach to life, a whole new understanding of what love is all about, and an understanding that will never, ever, ever go away about how great and powerful love is when we choose love as our foundation. Not some cult, not some deity, not money, not power, not sex, not some drug, but love. Because it beats the crap out of all of those as a way to live your life, as a way to understand what's going on in this world, and a way to understand what you want to do and have meaning in your life. So yeah, Love 101, it's going to be, I'll put a little link on the website later on today. And the course is available for early birds to get and put a lot of work into this course. It's absolutely guaranteed to change your life, for 100% money back guarantee. Get all your money back. If it doesn't change your life in a profound way, positively profound way, get your money back. 100% guaranteed. Free up that spot of 38 for somebody else to check it out. I'm confident that it's going to change your life in a better way. I'm confident that it's not only going to change, but it's going to transform. Because people don't know what love is, really. They get all these baloney, all this garbage, all these non-truths, and they live their life according to those. People are lost. I mean, look at how people indulge in addictive substances, whether it's drugs or whether it's alcohol or whatever it is. People looking for money to solve their problems, to make them happy. But I've known enough of the unhappiest people I know in the world are multimillionaires, personal friends. Unhappiest people in the world. Yeah, there's some happy millionaires, but they didn't get it from money. It's nice to have enough money to live. Absolutely. But that's not about money. That's just about having the food, the shelter, the nurturing, the opportunities. And that's love. So I just want to share that idea about how misunderstood love is. Offer the course coming up. It's available later on today. Go to the website, LoveBudi.com, and learn more about love and choose love as the foundation of your life. It's going to be great for you, I promise. It's going to be great for the world, because wow, do we ever need it. Thanks so much for listening. Let's see what's today. Today's July 21st, 2019. It's 10:47 a.m. on a Sunday here in the Philippines. We'll be back next week with another LoveCast. We'll be back tomorrow with a love tip, talking about how we can practically utilize love in our lives to have a better life, to get closer to love. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for listening. Really appreciate it. I love you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you. Bye-bye till next time.